Hey, Tomas here. Welcome to the next video in the Clinic Success Academy. By the end of this video, you're going to know the 4-part framework that turns inbound inquiries into booked consultations and the timing for each part so you can stay on track without sounding scripted. So let's get into it. Here's something I see consistently and constantly across clinics. The front desk team is motivated, they care, they want to help the patients, but every call sounds different because every team member is improvising. There's usually a front desk team member who's absolutely smashing it, getting in all the bookings. Their booking rate is incredible, but the discrepancy between where they're at and the rest of the front desk team is probably fairly night and day. And the reason for this is success leaves footprints. We want a system that works. And when you improvise, results are going to be inconsistent. Most clinics think that this is a staffing problem. It isn't. It's actually a structure problem. Now, the good news is you don't need a script word for word. You need the shape of the conversation. Think of it like the framework of a house before the walls go up. The framing doesn't tell you what color to paint the walls, it tells you where the rooms will go. And once you know where the rooms will go, you can move naturally inside them. So that shape in this case is 4 parts. Open, discover, position, and book. 4 steps. Every inbound call and every outbound call. Every single time in that order. And this is one of the levers we pull inside the predictable patient engine. And here's why it matters at a business level. Most clinics don't have a marketing problem, they have a sales and systems problem. Every lead that rings your phone is a lead that you've already paid for. So tightening these 4 parts is what squeezes the revenue out of every marketing dollar you've already spent. So let me walk you through each one. Number 1, open. So take about 30 seconds. This is the warm landing. You're not going to launch in the first 30 seconds into a price list. You're finding out who is on the other end of the phone and what brought them in here today. And one good question at every start tells you more than 5 minutes of pitching ever could. Again, we've covered this in detail in another video, so this part connects directly into that. So the second step is discover. 4 to 5 minutes down, write that down. 4 to 5 minutes. And again, that's going to be a longer call. Obviously, we want it to be shorter than that. But this is going to be the longest part of the call, and it's the part that most front desks skip entirely. So discover is where you're going to ask quality questions. What have they tried before? What hasn't worked? What does success actually look like for them? What are they running from and what are they running toward? And this is the part where most calls fall apart. The front desk skips discover and jumps straight into positioning. So we'll come back to why that's such a costly mistake in a second. Next, I want to talk about position. This is going to be a bit shorter than discover, but this is the part where you finally speak about what the clinic actually offers. You're not going to talk about a menu, you're not going to run through prices in detail, but it's going to be a short, clear bridge between what they've just told you, they've told you they want, and what you can actually give them. You're stating your offer in terms of their specific situation, their words, their outcome. And then lastly, it's book. Not we're going to send you a link, not give us a call when you're ready. And again, I see that a lot. So if you're a culprit of that, put your hands up and note, not give me a call back if you ever want anything. Book, which is the 4th stage, is where you're going to lock in a specific slot before the call ends. Offer them 2 options, then stay quiet. Key, you're going to lock in a specific slot before the call ends. We always want to what's called BAM FAM, book a meeting from a meeting. You never want to, and this is going to apply when they're in practice as well, you never want to get off a call without booking the next call. You never want to hop off a call without booking the next consultation. You never want to leave an in-person consultation without booking the next one. So for example, in my case, I mentioned in a previous video, I'm currently going through physiotherapy for basically ACL surgery, meniscus surgery. I've gone to 2 different physios for this because I was traveling. The better one though, would never let me leave saying, okay, let's book you in for your next slot before I get too busy. And immediately, I've gone to her dozens of times. I went to another physio and I said, and I had to ask her, when should I go in for the next one? She's like, I don't know, maybe in a few weeks, give me a shout whenever. You can imagine which one gets more business. This applies throughout the entire customer journey. So you're going to book in a specific slot before the call ends. A key thing to remember is the closer the appointment, the higher the likelihood that they show up. If you book in an appointment for a month from now, they'll think of excuses, and like I've said in previous videos, speed kills deals. So you're going to offer 2 options. You're going to stay quiet. The call will end with a date in the calendar or a concrete next step toward one. So you're going to book the meeting from the meeting, always. book a meeting from a meeting. And I want to bring you back to Discover. So this is, with that being said, having a good bird's eye view, Discover is where the real work lives. During Discover, the patient should be talking 80 to 90% of the time. You should be talking 10 to 20%. If you remember one thing from this video, and I've said this before, write it down. Patient believes what come out of their mouth more than what comes out of yours. When a patient tells you in their own words they've tried all the treatments and nothing has worked, they've just talked themselves into being open to something new. You didn't push them there. They walked themselves there. And that's the whole game. Again, no matter what type of clinic you're in, this works. Business you're in, this works. Discover looks the same at its core. You ask what they've tried. You've asked what they haven't, what didn't work. You ask them what success looks like. And the vocabulary changes by vertical, but this will be evergreen. Again, notice I'm not saying, more ad spend, more software, expensive funnels. It's free and it costs $0 or pounds, and it's about 50 minutes of practice. So open, discover, position, book. Open, discover, position, book. It's a single, fast way to grow your business after speed to lead. So this is why we always prioritize this. The marketing will get them in the phone, get them inquiring, but these 4 parts are what's going to bring them to the calendar. Okay, so here's what we covered today. Number 1, structure beats improvisation every time. Every call needs the same 4-part shape underneath it, like the framework of a house, whether or not the words are different. Secondly, the 4 parts are open, discover, position, book. Write those down. So discover is the longest and it's going to be the most skipped. And then thirdly, our point is during discover, you always need to remember that the patient talks 80 to 90% of the time. You're going to talk 10 to 20 because again, patients believe what comes out of their mouth more than what comes out of yours. 4th, key sales principle. You're learning lessons here that took me years of blood, sweat and tears to learn the hard way. Always book a meeting from a meeting, be it on the phone or in person. Lock a slot before the call ends. Don't just send a link, not call us back, a date and a time, and ideally if you can book them in on your software, get them to confirm on the call that is in their calendar and say something to the effect of, by the way, if anything comes up so you can't attend, please make sure to let us know. If anything happens on our end, we'll obviously do the same for you. But get them to verbally commit because again, they believe what comes out of their mouth more than what comes out of yours. Like I said, next steps on your end, write out the 4 words on a post-it note and stick it on every front desk monitor. Have it somewhere. Open, discover, position, book. That's it. Reference it before every inbound call for the next 5 working days. And again, quiz yourself on the tonality, the pacing, all that kind of stuff that we've talked about in previous videos. And again, if you need to revise those, you can find those in the course. So a way you can practice the 4 steps is today or tomorrow, pair up with a colleague. One person will play the patient, second will play the front desk. So I want you to run a 6-minute mock call with all 4 parts. Time each section and make sure that the discover is the longest. The patient player will throw one hesitation, any kind, run through it, swap roles, repeat twice more. Take about 20 minutes in total, 3 full rotations. And if you're solo, make sure to ask us. We'll have an AI role-playing prompt below that will allow you to practice this. And make sure to drop your recordings into your Slack channel and we will consult and give you feedback on how to improve your sales. That being said, really, really powerful stuff, guys. Please make sure to implement this, rewatch this video if you need to. Any assets or resources that I've attached to this video, make sure to go through them. If there's handouts or printouts, please make sure to print them off, have them physically in your workplace, for your team. Practice these. I cannot stress the importance enough of practice. Again, keep in mind, treat this like you're an athlete in a sport. Getting the reps in now will make a huge difference. That being said, sports metaphors aside, you probably deserve a coffee. There's been a lot going on in this course so far. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers.